the waterfall now right in front of you. So we're going to give them a nice big wave while they're on their stands, just so they can see us a little bit better. Fantastic. And we're going to introduce you to them. So stood next to Ash there, we have Anya, and Anya is 11 years old. You can see this, very beautiful. And next to her, we have Gina, and Gina is 15 years old. Now here at the zoo, we're having so many sea lions, we do have lots of family members, and Gina and Anya are actually full sisters, and they do love each other very, very much. Now, they do love each other, but they do get very shy and very embarrassed if there is a big group watching. So what we're going to do to make sure they don't stay that way is give them lots of claps and lots of encouragement. So when you see our sea lions putting their flippers together, it does mean they do want lots of claps, they do want lots of rounds of applause. It just shows them that they're definitely doing a job well done. So keep your eyes peeled on those sea lions. Because here at the zoo, we do get lots of people. They run in here and they say, wow, look at those seals. No, not seals, are we, girls? We're not. We're California sea lions. So what we're going to do is show you a couple of differences between seals and sea lions, so we don't make that mistake again. Now we're going to start with a very small difference, and if you look at the side of Gina's head there, she does have a little flap of skin. Now that's her little external ear, just like mine or yours. But a seal wouldn't have this. A seal would have a hole in the side of its head covered with fur that you wouldn't be able to see. But that's a very small difference, so we're going to show you an even bigger one. So ladies, can we see your flippers? Wonderful. So if you look at the size of Ash's hand there, it's roughly around the same size as a seal's flipper. So compared to Anya's, there is a massive size difference. Now there is a reason for this size difference, but because sea lions have larger flippers than seals, it does mean they move very, very differently. So in the water or even on the land. So Gina's going to show us exactly how sea lions move. Very gracefully, with all their body weight supported on all four flippers. They can jump, they can run, and they could even run up and down stairs if they really wanted to. They're very graceful, very elegant indeed. But Gina, can you show our audience exactly how a seal might move? Just like that, with her belly on the floor, using her very small front flippers to drag herself along. She's not very elegant and not very graceful at all. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why our sea lions do not like to be mistaken for seals. Well, that was incredibly impressive there, Gina, so can we give her a nice big round of applause? So if we are looking at a little ear and a large front flipper, we definitely know we're looking at a sea lion and not a seal. So here at Blackpool Zoo, we do train our sea lions, and we train them using something called positive reinforcement. But it all starts with the stick that's in Ash's hand there. Now it is a training stick, it's just a white stick with a red end. Now our sea lions know if they put their noses on the end of that stick and follow it wherever Ash needs it to go, they will receive a whistle and a nice fishy reward. Now this is just to make sure that they definitely know they're doing the right behaviour. But you can see there, they're highly motivated to follow that stick wherever it needs to go in the hopes of receiving that nice fishy treat. It's just like you being offered your favourite chocolate bar. But you can see there, it's very easy to check all our sea lions' overall mobility and their movement. We can ask them to go in and out of the water, and that's because we do swim with our sea lions as part of our displays in the summer months. And it's also very important to do our daily health checks as well. So you can see there that Anya will happily lie down on her belly. It means that Ash can run her hands over her to check for any lumps, bumps or scrapes. And she can also roll over onto her back as well. Now this is to present her belly and her flippers, and this is really important to do things like taking blood samples or even to perform ultrasounds if she were ever to become pregnant. But how's she looking, Ash? She's looking fantastic and she's very, very comfy. But she's going to make her way back onto her stand, and that was incredibly impressive as well, so a nice big round of applause for Anya. Now that is very basic training that we can do here with our sea lions, just to make sure that we can check their movement, obviously do those daily health checks, and reduce any stress levels if we ever had to bring a vet into our zoo. But what we can also do is we can use props in our enclosures, and this is just to show you the natural abilities that sea lions have. So after every one that Gina catches, she's going to want a nice round of applause. So she already got 2. What about a 3rd? Fantastic. And a 4th with a spin? Fantastic, Gina. Now that is a very natural behaviour for our sea lions, but we do appreciate that sea lions in the wild would not be catching hoops on their necks. They would, however, be using their very, very long and flexible necks to catch their favourite food, the fish. But we know fish live down in the water, so we're going to do that behaviour again. So after every one that Anya catches, again, lots of encouragement for her. It's a lot harder this time. She's got 2. What about a 3rd? Fantastic. And a 4th? She's got it. Easy peasy. A nice graceful belly slide, and an extra round of applause because she feels like she deserves it. That was wonderful, Anya. So it is natural for sea lions to use their long flexible necks and their forward facing eyes to make them very good hunters to be able to find their fish. They can also use their very large front flippers and incredibly strong chest muscles to pick up enough speed to be extra fast in that water as well. But it's not just their necks and eyes that they can use, they also use something extra special, and it enables them to do this. Fantastic there, and yeah, sea lions can balance a ball on the end of their nose. They're actually using their super sensitive whiskers to move their heads accordingly to keep that ball in place. They actually just pick up all of those vibrations. Fantastic. Now again, we do appreciate that sea lions wouldn't be balancing balls on the end of their noses in the wild. But again, those whiskers pick up all the very sensitive vibrations of fish in the water and makes them able to locate and catch them. But again, we know that fish don't live on the land, they live down in the water. So both our girls are going to head down to the water and they're going to retrieve both of those volleyballs and bring them back onto their stands. Now it can take up to a full year with 3 to 4 training sessions a day to do that behaviour completely sat still. So look how impressive our girls are here, being able to locomote all the way across their beach. And they can also share, they are sisters after all. Fantastic. Should we try that one again? We'll show you how much of a show off they really are. Fantastic there, girls. We've got a little bit of teamwork to get that ball back to Ash. Fantastic.
My next wicket.
Now those whiskers come in handy in lots of different scenarios, but it also means that even blind sea lions in the wild are able to hunt for those fish just using the vibrations that they pick up on their whiskers. Now, all those things make our sea lions very good hunters out in the wild, but they're not the top of the food chain. There's lots of scary animals, and they're animals like killer whales. I don't like killer whales at all, do we, girls? I didn't mean to scare you, but it doesn't matter because we don't have any killer whales here at Blackpool Zoo. But unfortunately for sea lions, it's not just killer whales that might try to eat a sea lion. There are lots of other animals that are very scary. So what we're going to do is we're not going to tell you what that predator might be. We are going to take Gina down to the water and she's going to do an impression. Now, it's not an animal that Gina likes very much, but she doesn't mind pretending to be one. And I'm sure we can figure out, because of this impression, exactly what that is. So after 3, we're going to shout it out nice and loud, okay? We've got lots of little people in the audience. So again, after 3, 1, 2, 3. Did you hear that, Ash? No, I shouldn't hear it at all. We're going to have to shout through this glass. It is very thick. So again, after 3, 1, 2, 3. That was a little bit better, but do we reckon we can do it one more time? We're going to do it one more time. We're going to raise the metaphorical roof and we're going to scream as loud as we can. So again, after 3, 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. I think she definitely heard you that time. It is a shark, tiger sharks, bull sharks, even Jaws himself, the great white shark, might try to eat a sea lion. But Gina, what would you do if there was a shark in your pool? You would run onto dry land as fast as you possibly could, and when you get there, you'd hide away. Fantastic. And that's because dry land is a sea lion's favourite place to be if there are to be predators in the water. They can simply run and they can hide and stay nice and safe. But sea lions, they like to hunt in the middle of the ocean. And in the middle of the ocean, there might not always be dry land for them to be able to jump back out onto. So they do have to have a very special behaviour up their flippers in order to confuse predators in the middle of the ocean. And Anya knows exactly what she would do. So, Anya, she would do not 1, but 2 backflips. And very impressive ones, might I add there as well. Very graceful. And I definitely think that deserves a nice round of applause. They would do those backflips and those somersaults to create lots of splashes, lots of bubbles and lots of confusion. It actually gave the sea lions the next couple of split seconds to be able to escape the jaws of any of those predators. Because if my dinner started backflipping on my plate, I'd be a little bit confused and probably wouldn't want to eat it either. But predators are not the biggest threat that sea lions face out in the wild. They do unfortunately face a very big one, and unfortunately that is plastic and rubbish. Now you can see there that Ash has a plastic bottle in her hand, and she's going to be very naughty, and she's going to take that bottle and she's going to throw it into our sea lion pool. Now Gina here is very clean and tidy, and she does not stand for rubbish in her pool at all. So she's going to take that bottle and leave us with a strong conservation message to put our rubbish in the bin. Fantastic, Gina. But it does mean if a sea lion can do it, ladies and gentlemen, so can you. We just have to ask to take all of your rubbish with you out of our arena today. It helps us to keep our zoo clean, it stops rubbish getting into our enclosures, and it also helps us to protect our native wildlife, which is incredibly important. But I think our sea lions and Ash have done a fantastic job today. So what we're going to do is we are going to show you the incredibly strong bonds that our sea lions have with their trainers. Now, without this bond, we would not be able to do these displays. But you can see there, once she's in the right position, and you will happily give Ash a